protesters are still on the streets of Hong Kong, but the mood has changed dramatically in the past 24 hours. Scuffles are breaking out at a couple of protest sites across the city. Now, this was a scene in Mong Kok just a short time ago. A group opposed to the pro-democracy protests. They tried to dismantle camps set up in the middle of a major street in this Mong Kok district of Kowloon, breaking down barricades, prompting police to form a human chain around the pro-democracy Occupy protesters. Now, student leaders say that they will consider abandoning talks with the government if officials do not stop activities against the peaceful protesters. Now, let's cross now to CNN's Andrew Stevens, who joins us in Mong Kok. And Andrew, these violent scenes coming out of that district, these peaceful pro-democracy protesters are under assault. What have you seen there?
Yeah, at the moment, Christy, we are standing right in the middle of one of the busiest intersections in Mong Kok, and it is a sea of people. Thousands of anti-Occupy, anti-student protesters have come up and are literally face to face with several hundred students here who have been manning a sit-in in this shopping section. There have been scuffles. We've seen several. They are screaming at each other. There is a lot of defiance here. There is not a big police presence here. In these 2 hours that we've been here, certainly more reinforcements have arrived. It's reasonably quiet at the moment, but certainly there is a lot of feeling going on here. The anti-Occupy protesters, many of these are stall holders, they're small business owners, and their point is that we cannot live if we are not earning money. Many of these people would be working 7 days a week, and they say, you've got to leave, you've got to clear out, you've got to let us get back to business here. The students that I've been speaking to say that they have no plans on leaving. They sort of formed a defensive circle, really, right in the middle of this intersection, and they're surrounded by three sides by the anti-protesters. As I said, it's quieter here at the moment, but every now and then there will be a scuffle, there will be a chant goes up, and tensions rise, and then it fades back again. What has happened in the last 10 minutes or so that we've seen is a lot of reinforcements from the students leaving the central Occupy protest site and coming out here to reinforce students who are already here. It's a very delicate situation at the moment. Certainly it's a standoff, and certainly there's no prospect that I can see that there's going to be any resolution to this. They're both sides very entrenched. No one's going anywhere.
Andrew, you described this as a very delicate situation. These peaceful pro-democracy protesters, a number of them have been surrounded by these anti-Occupy elements. We're trying to understand more about who are they and who's behind them. Some background into Mong Kok. That area is notorious for organized gangs, for triads here in Hong Kong. Is that playing any sort of factor, any role in the unrest there?
That's an interesting question. Very difficult to establish whether there has been any criminal elements, thugs, if you like, coming in to stir things up, sort of to provoke the crowd. Certainly, students I've spoken to have said that is the case. I've asked the police; they're not commenting on that. But I would have to say that the scuffles that I've seen so far, Christy, they are some pushing and shoving, and then they fade back again. But these are very legitimate complaints that have been, many of these protesters are raising. The fact that it is difficult to get around many parts of Mong Kok at the moment. Mong Kok used to be one of the most densely populated parts of the planet, and it is full of working-class Hong Kongers who, many of them, live hand to mouth, and they need trade. And they say that trade has been severely disrupted by this protest movement. They're not saying they don't support democracy, they don't support the aims of the students. What they do say is they don't support the methods of these students.